Is this thing on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Welcome to Black.
Have you started recording?
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do this every time. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I don't work, child.
Well.
Come on.
Welcome to Black Love Matter, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
Loving each other,
and finding our inner Barack and Michelle,
Jay-Z or Beyonce, or Gucci Man and Keisha. How do you say her last name? Kior? I don't want to mess it up. Keisha. Gucci Man and Keisha. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Hey.
All right.
Well, how you doing, Niambi?
All right. Let's start with the check-in with me. I'm a whole big bag of emotion. It's surreal. I'm so happy that we got our first podcast off the ground. Thank you everyone for listening. It was just so overwhelming. I'm so happy and blessed that it came to fruition. But what I'm not feeling is this cold weather. As y'all know, we live in New England and it's cold. Like it's to the point where I'm still wearing sweaters. Also, I don't know if it's because of the weather or is it just me, but I'm in a little bit of a funk. I feel like all I want to do is sit on my couch and watch House of Cards and chill. Lord. So I don't know about y'all, but and you Niram too. I go through these cycles of like productivity, like where I'm on it. I'm getting up in the morning. I'm doing my affirmations. I'm killing it, drinking my smoothies, yoga, and then other times I go through cycles of just being trash. I'm in a trash cycle right now, so I need to do a little self-care. Yeah. To pull myself out of that. So I need to do a little more journaling, some clay masks. I need to get on that meal prep wagon and put down them salt and vinegar chips. And you know, salt and vinegar is a soft spot in my heart.
I was gonna say no lightly salted ruffles with that hot sauce.
Come on. Now that's the truth too. But it's something about a salt and vinegar that bring all the water from your mouth. So I need to get on my meal prep, high protein, low carb, all that. Mm-hmm. So that's me personally, but work is also good. As y'all know, I'm a grad student, but I also work at a big chain store as a side hustle, just to keep the bills paid. And maybe I guess I got to just share this story. A guest tried the hell out of me. So at this store I'm working at, I was called to the front lanes to help ring up some stuff, right? So lines was wrapped. So I'm trying to get his fast service with smiles. I'm trying to be with the cause. I don't drink the Kool-Aid. I'm on the mission. And so this next lady rode up. For some reason, she just kept looking at me and she wouldn't put her stuff down. And I was looking like, damn, give me these clothes, bitch. Like, come on. Don't you see the line wrapped around? And then right at that point, she looked at me dead in my eye and was like, please don't put my negligees on the conveyor belt.
What?
Bitch, what? A negligee.
At what?
Don't you say where I work, but I work at a big chain store with a conveyor belt that don't include no negligees. First of all, conveyor belt and negligees should not be in the same damn sentence. Mm. Ma'am, it should not. And next, this is a chain store. This is not Barney's of New York, okay? But I was just so triggered. In a negligee. Who the last time somebody even said the word negligee? I was like, ma'am, these is draws.
That's like some 1970s.
This is fruit of balloons. Is that what they call it? Fruit of balloons? Balloons? What they call it?
A loom.
This is draws, not negligee. So, I know my week been a little rough because I was triggered by that negligee comment. So, I know it's crazy, but that's how I'm doing now. But all around, God is good. All the time. And all the time, God is good.
Amen.
How you doing now?
I'm doing good. Watching a couple of episodes of House of Cards. Y'all, House of Cards this season is good as fuck. Mm. It's better than last season. So, I ain't going to give no spoilers yet.
Last season was horrible.
Last season was slow, but this one started off with a bang. Mm-hmm. And it looked like it's just going to be more drama. Mm-hmm.
I love a good Frankie Underworld, honey.
I know. 2 taps and the fingers whirl.
What? Who taught you that?
All right. For Memorial Day weekend, I just chilled out, stayed low key. I didn't even barbecue. We just ate leftovers. Oh, dear. One of the things I did see is a lot of struggle plates on Instagram.
Them burnt ribs.
Oh my God. One of the persons that I follow on Instagram was barbecuing chicken breast. And he's like, oh, they juicy. Like, these juicy. Like, look at them. I'm like, I'd send them a message like, those look kind of dry, bruh.
So who barbecue chicken breast? Is he a person of color?
Yeah.
Oh. We do the whole thigh and the leg.
He did a chicken breast.
Boneless?
Boneless.
Oh, Jesus.
Boneless skinless chicken breast. He got it on the grill talking about, oh yeah, these real juicy.
Ooh, but I got no juice or nothing. No basting with the vinegar. Y'all know about that vinegar? Shout out to the
that
Midwest.
nigga was a lie. I was like, bro, them joints look dry. He's like, nah, cuz them bad boys was mad juicy. I said, shit,
Maybe
you done put this boneless skinless breast on this damn barbecue grill talking about, oh, these joints are juicy.
It make my mouth dry talking about it. Yeah.
You know, other than that, I'm feeling good, feeling great about this podcast. Yeah. Spending time with my baby girl. Also, all the people that's gonna touch, man. And you're right, it is cold than a mug here. Yeah. I'm pissed that it is about to be June and I still got to turn on the damn heat because it's like 55 degrees in the house.
Reluctantly.
In the morning. After I done got on my hoodie, I done got on my college hoodie, I done got on my sweats, and it's still cold as hell. So, that's kind of pissing me off because I it's June, so I expect that this heat bill is about to go down.
Come on.
But it's not. My last win, I don't know if anybody else is going to be as geeked as I was, but I found a seeded watermelon.
Oh, help us, Lord.
Nigga, it's been so long since I had watermelon with real seeds in it. All that GMO shit. It was dope. It was juicy. It had them seeds in it. So, I'll spit them out like a little machine gun.
Getting seeds all over my kitchen floor. That's what he's doing.
It was all.
I prefer a seedless watermelon. I do like that.
You know
GMO.
what? Like, I feel like this generation is getting lazy. Like, we don't eat fish with bones in it.
It's dangerous.
Growing up, that's all you had was fish with bones in it.
You better eat white bread.
Yeah, you got to put it in that bread so the bones won't get stuck in your throat.
Oh my
people don't want to eat. They only want to eat seedless watermelons.
I like the seedless.
Y'all getting lazy. That's what it is. This generation is getting lazy. So I was geeked for my black ass to find a seeded watermelon, and it was off the hook, and it was amazing. It was everything that I wanted it to be. Amen. Right. So, we're supposed to be talking about Black Love stories, but we ain't got none. So I'm going to say this again, y'all. We want to reach out to y'all. We want to celebrate Black Love. So, send your stories in to blacklovesmatter.com. Remember, that's black with no K. blacklovesmatter.com/love story. Fill out the form there. And if we like it, we'll shout you out and share your story on the podcast.
Well, okay, wait, rewind. What you said is that we don't have no Black Love story in our life.
We don't.
We do got stories on both sides of our family. What is you talking about?
Who you got then?
You gonna put me on the spot?
You talking about we got them? I don't know what you talking about. Other than me and you,
us, we a love story.
Well, we talked about us yesterday. Last time.
You said yesterday, last week, an hour ago. No. Well, don't just downplay the folks in our lives. You got folks on your side of family. I got folks on my side of family. I highlight somebody. I highlight my grandparents.
Okay, what you got there, Niambi?
All right, so my grandparents, they were married for over 50 years, and they both are transplants from Georgia. So my grandfather, he came to Detroit to work for the Big Three. For the folks who don't know who the Big Three is, so those are the Big Three car companies, right? So that's Ford, GM, and Chrysler. Anybody in Detroit know about that. So that's why he came up here to work and do that. And my grandmother left home and followed her cousin to come to Michigan because, as myself, I follow in her legacy. We are both smart, brown, big mouth black girls. And, Georgia in the 1940s wasn't necessarily the place for her to be. So she came up here to kind of start over and thrive. Believe it or not, the place that they actually met was Cabaret. Now that's very Midwest. I realized that when I moved to New England, folks don't say things like Cabaret. It's like they think of the Great Gatsby. But we really thinking about like a VFW hall with some chicken and music sponsored by an organization. So is that what you think?
Yeah.
No.
Did Papa have some gator boots on?
I'm sure he had some gator. Well, he was from the South, so he was making his transition from country to Detroit players. So he might still have some overalls on, honey. I don't know. but he got there. But anywho, they met at a cabaret, and as my granddad said, he knew from the first conversation that was gonna be his wife, or as he said, that was gonna be my woman. And I was like, all right. So 50 years later, they have 5 kids, 9 grandchildren, including myself. I'm the oldest, and 1 great grandchild. Now I want to be clear. Like, I know I kind of fast forward their story over all that 50 years. Not everything in their relationship was roses. But what I did see as a child growing up and into my adulthood is this idea of unconditional love, support, and growth between both of them.
Well, I know it couldn't be all roses because, just like you, Grandma got a voice, got that mouthpiece. So I can only imagine.
Ooh, I come from a very strong lineage.
I can only imagine Papa being like, listen here,
opinionated women.
Very.
But you're right. So I remember when I was younger, right? So both my grandparents, they used to smoke and have a little taste to drink, right? And I mean, they used to smoke what was it called? The Marlboro? Am I saying that right?
Marlboro?
With the blue diamond. That was their kind. Is the blue diamond on the package. So that's the kind I think was the blue pack. I don't know. Marlboro. But they used to smoke it. You know it, man?
All I know is Newport 100 or Cools.
Okay, you know what? This is not your story. I'm taking it back. But my grandfather actually went to the doctor, and the doctor told him that he needed to quit smoking, cut back on drinking, due to some, different health concerns that were coming on. The very next family dinner, so my family, we will be big on like somehow getting together for dinner once a week, once every other week, all at my grandparents' house. Both my grandparents stood up, like, I got something to say, I got an announcement. And they were like, we just want to let all y'all know that we have quit smoking and we no longer drink, both of us. Yeah, you see that pause? That's what everybody did. Everybody was just like,
cold turkey?
Okay, thank you. And, of course, I got aunts, uncle, cousins there. Are you okay? Are you dying? Are you sick and everything? But in the midst of all that, y'all know my Uncle Junebug, who I shouted out in my first episode.
Mm-hmm.
As my grandfather was saying that, right? Here he come taking out his Marlboro light and about to light it. At that moment, all eyes shot to Uncle Junebug. And my grandfather said, I'm pausing to give a fit. Did you hear what my wife said, JB? Don't make me come up out myself on her behalf. And everybody was like, what the hell? Mind you, he said, did you hear what my wife said? That's his father and his mother. So he talking to him like he a Negro on the street. But just the way that he held her down in that moment was something that everybody was like, all right, we see you, Papa. That's what we call him. And from that point, they really did went cold turkey on cigarettes and alcohol. And as a grown woman, I asked them, like, did y'all ever sneak and do, like, how did you go cold turkey on both of them? And he was like, my woman said I had to do it, so ain't no other choice.
Wait, I'm still up. Don't make me come up out myself.
That's how he sound, y'all. Like the very James Earl Jones.
Let me get the Popeye voice. Listen here, boy.
Yes.
Don't make me come out myself.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
But everybody shut the hell up. Then everybody stopped and looked, and Uncle Junebug put that cigarette away.
When you start making me mad, I'm just gonna say, listen here, don't make me come about myself.
He said, did you hear what my wife said, JB? And he said JB. He ain't never said JB. He said Junebug. Did you hear what my wife said? Don't make me come about myself on her behalf. And mind you, my grandmother is she's not one who need to be spoken for. And she didn't do nothing but smile and look at him.
I bet.
And everybody else fell in line. But without that being said, they were able to stop smoking, stop drinking, cold turkey together. And it just in that moment where he took up for her, and in that moment where they went on this journey together, it was just powerful. And that's what I see as love. And those were my examples of love. And like I said, I have all types of stories like this from my childhood. But most recent is also talking about my grandparents still, is really seeing how their love still continues to grow and maintain even through death. So my grandmother passed away a couple years ago. But before that, she was diagnosed for Alzheimer's, and my grandfather stepped up. So as I said, he an old school Southern black man. So, meaning that he really didn't wash clothes, cook dinner, clean around the house. Don't get me wrong. It was never a point where my grandma was like a maid or anything, but they had very set standards,
right?
And expectations of, but it was respected among both of them. He will work, she'll do this.
Right.
So just seeing as she would get sicker, how he stepped into that role without saying a word. So, my mother, my other aunts asked him, like, do you need us to step in and anything? He said, I don't need nobody to step in and help me take care of my woman. I know her best. Like, just seeing that's some OG shit.
That is some OG stuff.
To say, I don't need you to do that. And
did he learn how to cook greens?
He did. It took a few tries. He could make a mean lima bean, but them greens... it's a little rough. My cousins who, hey, hopefully they listening, they'll know my grandfather used to make this dish called a goulash, but it wasn't a real goulash. It just was whatever was in the refrigerator. And it'd be a little scary what go in it. It'd be like chicken bones, neck bones. You'd be like, what is this, corn? You'd be like.
And dressing.
You said dressing. You're like, what, is that a peach? So, he had a little steep learning curve when it came to cooking, but he got to this point where he could did it, and he took that ownership and did it. Even more so when it got to the point where he wasn't able to take care of her at the house, even with the help of aid, and she went to an assisted living, he was there every single day, seeing about her. And to the point, as a lot of you all might know, if you have family members, suffering from Alzheimer's, it's that might can be an episode in itself. How to deal with aging parents is horrible. But it got to the point where, she wasn't really remembering him as much as she could, but he hung in there. And the one thing I did notice, even when she didn't remember him and he came in the room, she started smiling like she was 15, honey. Like, it was almost like she was buying a new boyfriend. Like, he the one. So, that's just something that, always just sticks out to me. And even on his side, as my grandmother was getting sicker and, it was getting to near the time of the end, everyone kind of knew. And I asked my grandfather, like, Papa, are you going to stay in this big house or are you going to downsize? Because mind you, they have this big house in the center of Detroit and all these rooms. And he looked at me and was like, this is my house. This is what I work for. It's paid in full. But I got to make sure I have a space for when your grandmother come home. When he told me that, y'all know, it took me out the game. I was like, for when she come home? I was like, oh, Pop, you think she's going to come home? He was like, I always have hope for my wife to come home, and I never lose hope. And I said, he is the 1, 2, and the 3.
That's love.
So, just having this unwavering faith and commitment to a relationship, no matter what the odds are against you, is just something, that still sticks with me today. And, it always just means a lot. And whenever I think of love stories and Black love stories, they're always one of the first ones that pop into my head because they're the real. They're the good, the bad, the ugly. And in doing this, some of the words of wisdom I always hear my grandfather say, and advice he gives me is, Niram and our relationship are growing and developing. He always says that when you're in love with someone, it's not a contest. So you don't keep score, and to keep in mind that you're on the same team. So that's always what he would say. It's not a contest. We don't keep score. We on the same team. And more so he would say that because my grandma had a mouth on her, honey. And she could spit venom, okay? And people be like, dang, Papa, you ain't gonna say nothing? He was like, I don't keep score of that. We on the same team. I was like, that, again, is some OG stuff. And you know how my grandmother can be. Remember when you first met her? Yeah. You came to her house?
Why the fuck you tapping up on my damn blender?
Okay, so let me set the stage. I just can't. He just did this like this. So he came to my grandmother's house and we were all sitting in the kitchen. And of course, when we sitting in the kitchen and talking and chit-chatting and all that good stuff, Niram, he likes to tap and fidget and do things. Sometimes the attention span a little short. So my grandmother had a blender on the table and Niram started like tapping with the buttons on the blender. The first time she ain't say nothing. The second time she kind of cut her eyes at him. The third time she had to speak her truth. So the third time she said, Niram, sweetie, do Do you play the piano or the instruments of any kind?
No, Grandma, I don't.
Well, what the hell you keep tapping up on my damn blender for? Get this boy somebody to play with and go from there. So again, this is just, a snapshot of my examples of what Black love looks like, feels like, smells like, and it just always makes me smile when I think about it. So Niram, no.
Oh, okay.
Don't talk about we don't have Black love in our life, because we got a whole lot of it.
All right. You know what? Listening to your story and, how Black love makes you smile.
It does.
Makes you feel warm and fuzzy. I think I have a couple examples of Black love stories in my life.
Okay.
The first one is, my uncle. I'm talking about Uncle Phil and dark skin Aunt Viv. Their love was like no other. Remember that episode when Will Smith daddy came and then he left again and Will Smith had that big ass blow up and then Uncle Phil came up in there and said, hey nigga, don't you come back here.
Do better. We'll
do him good without you. Lord. Oh my God. What type of Black love? I don't know about the Black love when light skinned Aunt Viv came because we really wasn't.
What is another example?
But dark skinned Aunt Viv.
Okay.
I know she be wilding out on sometime on Facebook, but we know her.
Love a good Janet Herbert.
My other one is Martin and Gina. The comical aspect that Martin had and Gina always showing that love for him. I really don't know how the show ended. Well, I do. I really can't speak about, the sexual harassment allegations that was happening on in real life. Allegedly. But on Martin, that was definitely a great example of Black love and growing together and, say and moving to a better place to create a better life. You know what I'm saying?
No. No.
Well, okay. All right.
They not real.
All right,
That's
then.
TV.
All right.
You playing. You're not taking this serious.
All right. I got two people for you.
Niram is playing. Y'all.
Will and Jada. Come on now. That is Black love. When people see Will and Jada, they be like, that's how my wife gonna be.
What? Yeah. In what sense? Are you talking about their open marriage?
Hey.
That's another episode too.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. All right. And my other one was Pat and Gina before they got divorced. Like their love would make you throw up.
People love. I love to hate them. I love to hate them.
My sugar pump. Got a little sugar for my sugar. Come here, baby girl.
I love it though. I'm
so
sad they got divorced though. I lost a little bit of hope for love when I heard they was getting divorced too. I think I seen her on Wife Swap. It was on television. I seen them, and I was like, "Oh Lord, the grass ain't green on the other side, is it?" They were showing out on that show.
So those are my examples of Black love, because growing up, some of the examples I had was a little dysfunctional. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit later. But like I said. Papa was a Rolling Stone. And wherever he had laid his hat was his home. So, like I said, I got two possible sisters, y'all. So, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well, maybe this would be a good topic for our pillow talk today, Niram. So, Black love in the media, or this idea of Black love stereotypes. So, what do you think? So, do you think this is harmful or helpful? The way we look, you named just a bunch of kind of celebrities and shows, for examples. As the children would say, #relationship goals. How do you think that is for the, for the community? Is that harmful or helpful?
I think it really depends. Back in the day, growing up as an 80s baby, then, seeing Family Matters, you take it back to like Claire Huxtable. I can't.
Wait a minute. Hold on. What did you say? Claire Huxtable.
Y'all know
the Cosby Show. Bill going through it, honey.
Before the
allegations.
The allegations.
Allegedly.
But I feel like that was like the the primetime cornerstone of Black love, especially for a kid growing up. I was a single parent mother. I grew up in a single parent home. So, after my mother and father split, it wasn't really, I was going to look at the hood with the hood rats, of the Doughboys.
You know what they love look like.
Hey,
come on.
So, for me, that type of individual that was growing up, that really showed me like what these examples of love was supposed to look like and how I wanted to aspire to be like. I can't speak about like what's going on like this year. Like, I was thinking about like how T.I. and Tiny, they going through their whole separation stuff, and the shit got real on the TV show.
You know what? I'm trying to do this purge. Y'all know I'm namaste. So I was trying to do kind of this social media reality TV purge just to slow down because I was getting too wrapped up into it. But I did see that clip with Tiny and T.I. and they was out. I don't know if we can link this. I don't know if this is copyright or whatever, but they was out to dinner and Tiny and Tip, whatever his name, they was talking. They was talking, and I guess they were going back and forth, kind of fleshing out this divorce. And T.I. was asked Tiny like, well, you destroyed this marriage because you moved out the house. And then she was like, I moved out the house because you was sleeping with the help. And then he was like, well, I was sleeping with the help because you was talking with old boy allegedly. And I'm like, wait a damn minute. Is this for real?
Yeah. That's real life.
And, playing that out on television and what that looks like, at the end, I think I'm Team Tiny on this one because, allegedly he slept with this girl and he mad at her just for talking and looking at another dude. I don't know what type of double standard going on with that, but
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I go back and forth. Like, what T.I. or allegedly did was wrong, but I see where you like you kicking it with the enemy, and I guess they didn't have that advice that Popeye gave and said you on teams and y'all ain't keeping score, so they over there trying to play tit
they
for
keeping
tat.
score. They keeping score. They keeping score. A good score too, right? Yeah, and then so if we think about what are the positive, Black or brown role models out there, what you got? Blackish.
Today?
Yeah. Oh, yes, today. But
Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, the goats.
I would consider them like, I guess they are celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess they would consider celebrities, but I'm talking about what the kids will watch consistently. What would they see? And even if we talk about Blackish, and I love some Blackish, and I think Tracy Ellis Ross kills it, and Anthony Anderson kills it. But even if we looking at families, we have a culturally ambiguous wife.
Shady.
No, it's just what it is.
Her name is Rainbow.
And that's what they're playing into. But having, it ain't Keisha and Tyrell on there. It's Rainbow and Dre, So that even still plays into this. That we're talking about this idea of Black love and lifting up the community and moving forward with that.
Yeah, well, so what do you think? Like, do you feel it's harmful or helpful? I think about these other shows like Housewives of Atlanta, Basketball Wives, who really ain't got no wives on there.
Yeah.
And like these other like reality.
Okay, and I just realized what shade you say. Some of them women is married on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you looking at some of that, and like these are some of the portrayals of love.
Yeah.
In the media.
Yeah. I go back and forth with it. So, my gut reaction is saying that it can be harmful. That having our children or the community look as these celebrities to be, this point that they look to when it's not realistic on both ends. So, meaning not realistic. So, even Blackish. So, they're pretty positive, right?
Yeah.
They don't show a lot of it hitting the fan as a couple. And I think that's very important to show what it looks like when you're in an argument and you're able to navigate through that. Does that make sense? And on the other end, when you have all the negative, it's like, okay, so you look at love and hip hop and see what's going on with there. That's not cute either. So it's like, I feel like television and celebrities give even these extremes of what Black love is supposed to be. And I don't think that's what everyday love looks like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like, it's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not telling the whole story. And then you have these people who grow up or get in relationships with these half-truths and these fairy tales and fantasies, thinking their relationship supposed to be like a Disney movie. Either a Disney story or Taken 3. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think that's what bothers me. I think that's the harmful piece. That is such the extremes. And I think that's where you rely on your community to kind of help fill in that blank. Because I think ideally, you're supposed to have someone at home or your community help guiding you and saying, okay, that's TV, that's not real, not to say that. But everybody don't got that.
And I hear that, I think that's something that growing up, like, even though, my examples was, Uncle Phil and Aunt Phil, the dark skinned one. Like, I knew that it was all a portrayal of. But
everybody don't think it's a portrayal. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. This reality to some people. Because the way you was talking, I thought you really.
Hey.
I thought you really thought it was real, honey.
Sometimes. When I close my eyes and I dream of my woman.
Yes. Okay. Come on. Focus. But then you go to the point where if we're talking about media, then is it a broader question of this idea of lack of representation of, Black and brown people in love? And what does that mean? And what does that look like? And, how do you move forward in that?
I hear you. And this might be going off topic, but I think about, for example, love and hip hop and things of that sort, and going back for like these extremes, like you got Barack and Michelle, who's like one side, and then you got the goats, and then you got somebody from like love and hip hop.
You got Rashida and Kurt,
something like that. So, will we ever see Michelle LaVon Robinson get up on Obama ass?
No.
Why not?
No, I mean, it's layers to that. He's who was the president of the United States. I don't think you're going to see any first lady do that. But no.
Michelle LaVon. Michelle LaVon must be getting up in Barack ass one of them times. I for it, swear to God.
Would you want to be a fly on the wall?
Yes, I do want to be a fly on the wall on like whatever the arguments is. If they are having arguments, I feel like, well, they are, because it's a married couple, so you always gonna have disagreements. But I would love to see like how their mediation skills is, and is she giving his ass the hand clap? Barry, I told your ass.
But then we got to talk about the culture. So then the culture I remember is, do you keep private? So I remember my parents, or more so my mama, again, shout out to you, Mama, I know you listening. What happens in this house stays in this house. So then you kind of going back and forth with that type of narrative too. You see this complexity? How much do we really want out there? We like to keep our business to ourselves as brown and Black people.
I hear you.
But it's important.
It is. I just wish Shonda Rhimes give Olivia Pope like one more Black love interest. I know
for it to go good. I feel bad. I'd be rooting for that. I think it's great. I kind of low key like her and Fitz. I'm probably the only person in America. But I could go for Olivia getting one Black guy that's not crazy. Just one.
Why Fitz couldn't be Black and he be on like some fuckboy nigga shit? It could be the same shit, but just like a Black couple.
Fitz is a fuckboy.
He doing fuckboy nigga shit. Yeah. His daddy. It sounds like a story from Detroit. You got this dude and he got his daddy, hitting up on every girl that comes his way, even though his son's girlfriend and try to get up on.
Okay, he did whoop up on
Melly. And then, Fitz, a higher up, he's the president.
I think he actually sexually assaulted Melly. Even worse.
Okay. Yeah, he raped her. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, this sounds like some Detroit nigga shit, like I've seen before. So why Shonda just couldn't make them Black?
Yeah. The idea that like mixed race couples stories and storylines are a little bit more realistic than it comes to Black and brown couples. I would say that. But also I think that's in style now. Like, on television, I should say. So I think it's in style to do, mixed race couples and go from there. It's not wrong with that, but I do think it's trends. America, we like trends. So I think that's the new trend. I think that's what's hot, what's flashy, that's what's cute right now. What's moving through. But that's just my humble opinion. But I do like Olivia and Fitz.
You know what? I live for scandal, but sometimes, like, the blackness in me is like, why Fitz can be a black dude? Like, this, I see how I can be on some fuckboy nigga shit. Fitz be on some fuckboy nigga shit.
I mean, that'd change the whole dynamic of the presidency, because then Melly would I guess Melly don't have to necessarily be black.
Peep this. Fitz remind me of Kwame Kilpatrick. Kwame wasn't the mayor. Kwame wasn't the president, but he was the mayor of Detroit. Okay. He had these stripper parties come through. His wife, yeah.
What does Fitz have anything with stripper parties?
Well, he had affairs, or allegedly had affairs. And, his wife nutted up on him.
I'm talking about Fitz on Scandal. He didn't mess around with other one.
Okay.
Olivia. Okay. I be put my blinders on to that.
Olivia.
She is the side chick.
Kwame had the side pieces.
Oh,
he had the strippers, and his wife got up and allegedly whooped some asses and things of that sort. And Melly was getting drunk and was cussing bitches out. Like, this is some nigga shit.
I ain't even gonna argue with you on that.
But
getting back to the topic, I do think we just have to be careful when we're looking at the media. This idea of it's harmful or if it's helpful. And again, I keep going back to where do you find it? Find these examples, and how do you do it in the community? But basically, both is needed.
I think so.
So I think this just counter narrative is needed. That's what I'm asking for. I want both. I want the good, bad, and ugly, and the realistic too. Because I think just telling one side of the story is not doing justice. It's not doing justice, and it's not doing justice to who we are as a people, community, and what our love is. And I don't even think the media has begun to even touch on how complex, how deep, how juicy, how delicious, how beautiful, how amazing Black love is. Mm-hmm. Because in itself, that's a story in itself.
I hear you.
Well, I'm passionate about that type of stuff. Because there's so many levels to it. And guess what? That brings to the black ass elephant in the room. We talking about media. We're only talking about, male-female couples. Mm-hmm. So there's all different types of Black love. So we haven't even, I personally haven't seen explicitly in the mainstream medium this idea of, two Black women or two brown women, two brown men, trans, folks who are polygamous in these type of relationships. And it works. Everything ain't for everybody. I'm not a polygamist, but I'm sure it's somebody out there who do it and do it well, and do it brown and do it well. I want to hear their story. I want to hear these stories of trans folks who are brown and in love. I want to hear these stories of folks who are gay and in love. I want to hear these lesbian love stories. And guess what? I want to hear the good, bad, and ugly.
Because I know it's going to be juicy.
But that's another whole Black elephant in the room, where I think these narratives and stories are being told for the mainstream and the white audiences.
And I do get that, and
that's the complexity I'm talking about. Like, Black love is something that's,
it's out there.
I can't even get words. I know words.
Black love is, but I get what you're saying, Niambi. Like, when you think of Black love, and for most people, even myself, the cornerstone, the goats, is Barack and Michelle. Mm-hmm. But what about Michelle and Tracy, or somebody like that?
Come on,
and I
Tyrone and Daryl. Come on.
Hey,
was Tyrone, now it's Therese. I want to know their story, and it means something.
It do mean something.
It is, and it should be validated, and it should be affirmed.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all, I get upset.
It should be. So, listeners, who y'all get y'all love from?
Yeah. Where you get your examples?
Of
so where's your examples of Black love in the community? Where y'all get it from? Is it media? Who are they? Is it your community? Who are they? Shout them out.
Leave a comment on SoundCloud, Black Love Matters. You can also go to the show notes of this page at blacklovesmatters.com. Leave a comment. Interact with us. Who are you getting your examples of Black love from? Because like I said, Uncle Phil and dark skinned Aunt Viv.
Well, shout out to my grandparents.
Okay, then. We got some kitchen table talk.
Yes, but I think we gotta tell y'all what it is first. So first off, thank you for such a supportive community we had. We actually had some friends who submitted us on private emails questions that they had for us. But as we said in the first episode, we're going to have something called Kitchen Table Talk. So this is basically a time where y'all can submit us questions, comments, or concerns. But the way that we're going to address it is the way we do it in my family. So we call this Kitchen Table Talk. So that means when you're all in the kitchen, you close the doors, and what you do, you give honest and truthful advice. You hold no bars. AKA, we might hurt your feelings, but suck it up because we love you. So again, this kitchen table talk is we give our honest opinion, feedback, advice on anything, y'all put out there. Am I reading a letter?
Go ahead, read it.
Oh, Lord. I'm just, shout out to this friend. Thank you. It says, hey, Niambi and Niram. I can't find no love or at least a compatible match on Plenty of Fish, Tinder, or any of the other dating websites. Not Plenty of Fish. I'm keep coming up with folks that I'm not connecting with. It's been years. What should I do? Should I give up and lower my standards or stay the course? Keep on keeping on. Love y'all first episode. Niram, you want to take the lead?
Hey, hello, friend. That should mean nameless.
Hold on. Go back, Niram. What was that? Friend who named.
Look, Niambi, you are not gonna put me out. It's something y'all gonna find out is that I got like a speech impediment. I stutter and stammer sometimes, so y'all just gotta bear with me.
And then you cope that with being from the Midwest. We talk fast and we run our letters together.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, friend.
That shall remain nameless.
That shall remain nameless.
Come on.
Should you lower your standards to give me? Hell no, girl. What? Or boy? Hell no. I feel like you just hitting like the first level of like trying to find love on like internet, like Tinder. Like you looking for a booty call?
Yeah, I thought Tinder and Plenty of Fish was kind of unspoken. Like you just go to kind of hook up.
So
not that I'm on it.
I better not see you on it.
So I've heard.
So you heard. But I feel like he or she need to move up and like decrease the level of fuck shit. Like when I think of like Tinder and like Plenty of Fish, I just think of like the all types of like fuck nigga shit and like catfish is going on because it's free. So you got a lot of people who get cheating on their wife, got 15 kids and like all this other stuff. And I almost feel like you gotta have some skin in the game, girl. Like why don't you go to one of these dating sites if you haven't and try one that's at least you gotta pay a little bit of money because at least
with a subscription.
Yeah, a subscription because that at least lower on like the fuck nigga shit. Because like I said, adding some cash, fuck niggas ain't gonna be doing that shit. Even though, not to say that you ain't gonna get fuck niggas on Match or anywhere else, but you also are cutting out some of the low level fuck niggas who like, well, all I got to do is add an email address and steal a picture from Instagram or Facebook, or well, hey, I'm trying to get some side piece action, so let me just go ahead and put myself on here and go from there. So I feel like, no, you shouldn't give up on love, but also, you shouldn't, lower your standards, but also like, where else are you going to find love? Like, is it just the internet or, where else are you going? So I think that's one of my questions, but the main thing is no, don't give up on love. And B, you might need to put some money in the game.
You said put some money down for a matchmaker. So you said just invest a little bit more into it.
You got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in yourself.
Know your worth. Don't give no discounts.
You out here on Plenty of Fish. I'm sorry. You out here on Plenty of Fish talking about you about to find love where a site where people be on catfishing each other. And that's where the husbands cheating on their wives going on to. And you wondering why you ain't finding no love.
No, you got some of the men though, or women too. Come on, ladies. We do it too. Who make a lot of money and pay a lot of money to cheat on their significant. Was it AshleyMadison.com?
Yeah.
You know that exists too, but you're dealing with a different breed if you're doing that.
You gotta put some skin in the game because they equally low. They know that I'm here to cheat. Yeah. You here to cheat. We gonna cheat together.
You're right.
And then we gonna leave. And then if we gonna cheat again, we come back on a mutual.
Yeah, it's no happily ever after.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It might be, these people might be swingers or something. I don't know. I don't know that. I just know the site was there for people to cheat.
Come on.
So,
because it's somebody for everybody.
Ooh, I just think about what if the husband and wife be going there and trying to figure out if they're going to cheat on each other. And then they find each other on there.
I'm sure it happens. And I'm sure Lifetime has done a movie about it.
If not, they need
Lifetime Sundays. Do y'all watch Lifetime Sundays with all the movies? Yes.
So, to sum it up, Niram's advice.
This is Niram.
You got to decrease the level of fuck shit and fuck boys and cheaters. So get your ass off of Plenty of Fish. Get your ass off of Tinder, unless you're trying to find somebody to hook up with, and put some skin in the game. And diversify. Do something else. Are you doing anything else? Mm-hmm. Or are you just online swiping to the left?
Yeah. You got to. It's not a passive process. So, Niambi. So, do not lower your standards. I don't know why folks keep talking about this standards thing, especially when I talk with some of my other friends. Folks always talking about standards, and it's like, I don't think you have to lower, your standards. That shouldn't even be a part of the conversation. And I agree with you, Niram, the idea of diversifying your pool. Now, when I mean diversify your pool, I mean you got to come up from offline. So sometimes you got to reach out to friends. I believe in the power of manifestation alchemy. You got to put it out there. You got to say, I'm looking for love, y'all. If y'all know any strong men that fit blah, 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 please connect them. Sometimes you got to bring that energy to you. Next, you got to go to places where other people are too. So online is great, but sis, sometimes you got to do it the old fashioned or bruh. Look, my friend gonna call us and be like, this some bullshit. Y'all done told my business. Sis, brah, who y'all is, cuz. You have to do it the old fashioned way and get the hell out the damn house. Sometimes you can't sit in the house and do it. You have to go out of your comfort zone. You got to go to happy hour. You have to go where other single people are. If you want to meet other single people, you have to go be around single people. So that's the other thing. Are you laid up around a bunch of couple people? Because if everybody in a long-term relationship, ain't nobody going up, ain't no dating going on through there. Because all they friends is married and booed up.
Right.
So you cutting down the folks you with. So you got to go out and be with other single folks and see how it goes. Next, I always got to do this. One of my favorite people is Sister Von Zant. Have you done the self-work first?
Okay.
I always got to ask folks this because you got to start with self first. So first, would you date you?
What?
Shut up.
I know I date me.
Would you date you?
Yeah.
I know, sis, bruh, cuz you have a great job, good life, money. You good people. I know you. But that's on paper. You look good on paper. And we all know folks who look good on paper, but in person, they got the spirit of, again, quoting Sister Von Sant, a dope fiend manipulator. Y'all see the episode when she be like, you a dope fiend manipulator?
Say it. I'm a dope fiend manipulator. Ooh.
But so you have to ask yourself that. Do you have a fucked up attitude? Are you unnecessarily petty? I do think it's a time and place to be petty, so I don't lean too much into that. And do you like to spend time with yourself? Okay? Ask those questions first and see if you get a positive response. Next, I always like to say, and I got another friend that hopefully we can go ahead and bring him onto the show. Shout out to Nia. Come on this show, Nia. We're going to have a good time. What I always ask folks is, what are you looking for in a partner? Because of all these times you've been attracting all these people who are ticky, ticky, boom, boom, you have to ask yourself, do I like bombs?
Hey.
If everybody else is ticky, ticky, and they keep coming to you, do I like what? Bombs. And if you like bombs, you either need to acknowledge that you like them motherfucking bombs, or you need to do the self-work to get you past that to know you deserve it. Okay?
Talk that shit, Niambi.
No, I'm just telling you what's on my spirit, okay? I'm just telling you what's on my spirit. And the last thing I like to just say, going with that ticky, ticky, boom, boom, is this idea about hurt. So again, this going to that self-work again. Sometimes when folks get hurt, the first time, it don't feel that good. The second time, it hurt a little less. And then the third time, it start to feel damn good, right? So you've been hurt so often, that's your norm. But then when somebody come around that really treats you good and cares about you and treats you well, that's new.
You just be feeling all incomplete.
This incomplete. I'm supposed to be hurt. This is what hurt feel like. They doing the opposite. So a little of that could be going on too. Mm-hmm. So do it hurt so good, as I like to say. So imagine if it's hurt so good, do your self work. Know that if you're attracting ticky ticky boom booms, do you like bombs? And if all that's no, then just go back to the basic stuff. Reach out to other friends. Like Niram said, diversify your pool. Mingle and work with other single people. Step out your comfort zone. Put on your freakum dress or your freakum suit and just go have a good time.
Or like, isn't there like some young professional groups in your area?
Like a cute urban league or something like that.
Or, young black professionals or whatever.
Or young professionals, anybody.
Go there. Yeah. It got to be some single people there.
Brunch. There's always a brunch somewhere, ain't it?
And also, I just think about it because remind me of one of my friends who are also, separate from Brussels cousin, out there, going on these dates and going on OkCupid himself or herself, sis bro cuz, and like going on these long, elaborate ass dates.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about, and I hope you're listening.
On the first date, though, they taking their ass to Morton's, cashing out on the first date, and I was like, listen here, bro, like
sis cuz,
you gotta trim that down. You can't be taking nobody to Morton's on the first date, yo. Mm-hmm. Like you gotta do some cheap and cheerful type shit. You gotta take their ass to Starbucks.
Okay, now that's too much. What I would say a nice coffee shop is a first date, a nice coffee shop.
Starbucks is a nice coffee shop.
Is completely feasible. Because after 30 minutes, a 30-minute investment and a $10 investment, both of us can shake our hands and go our separate ways and don't feel a certain type
I wouldn't even say 30 minutes. You need like a 15-minute date to even see if she the person that you even talk to online. Yeah. And have a little small talk, and then they figure out if y'all even want to go where y'all want to go. To the next
step. I agree. Like, maybe we need to put a pin in this for an episode. Like, how do you date? Like, because even when we talked about our love story, this idea of how do you date and how do you go through all these motions?
And everybody you meet ain't going to be the next Mrs. Right. Like, sometimes they just going to end up being cool ass people for friends.
And you just have a good time and you go on with that. Yeah. I agree. So, all right. So, wrap that up. So, bringing that all together for our sis cuz bruh friend. Don't lower your standards. Diversify that pool. Go mingle with other single folks. Get out the damn house. As Niram said, put some money on it. Invest in yourself.
You gotta get some skin in the game. Get your ass off these free ass sites. Playing with these damn catfish.
Playing with these children.
For your ass to be on the next episode of Catfish.
And then I said, make sure you also doing self work. Do you want to date you? Do you got a fucked up attitude? Are you attracting bombs? Do it hurt so good? So, just ask yourself some of those questions and begin to navigate through that. But the overall, theme is hell no, don't lower your standards.
No.
Your Mr. or Mrs. Right is on the way. Just stay tuned.
Well, I think that's all we got for now, y'all. As always, check us out at blacklovematters.com. That's black with no K, so BLAC lovematters.com. Leave a comment on SoundCloud or on the website. We also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Black Love Matters. That's black with no K, Love Matters. And the question of the day, where do you find or who do you look to for your examples of black love? Like, leave that comment on SoundCloud or at blacklovesmatter.com. And closing, just know love is ever evolving.
All right, shout out to y'all. See y'all next time.
Peace.
Bye.